ready to meet our amazing talent here tonight. You gotta do better than that. Creators of this film are here. They are known as Radio Silence. They are directors Matt Bettinelli Olden and Tyler Gillette, and producer Barbara. And let's start the film from our meeting.
Thanks for coming. We've been working on this for a while, so this is a thrill. Holy shit.
It got real fast.
Yeah.
It wasn't, and now it's really is.
Yeah, here.
Cool. We've never screened a movie here. And we couldn't imagine a better place to open this. So thank you guys for showing up. We're so
This is my first screening of a festival. Yeah, so thanks for the support.
We really hope you guys have as much fun watching as we did making it. So enjoy the movie. Thank you all for coming out tonight. Thank you for standing in line. We appreciate it.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, a couple of bits of business. This Ready or Not is eligible for the Publix prize, so please vote after the film on a scale of 1 to 5. I'm sure you'll get 5 from everyone when this movie's done. Also, you have to shut your cell phones off, completely off. We have some security people in the audience that will make sure of that, so please comply with that. And let's see, am I forgetting anything to do? So are you ready or not for Ready or Not? The first stage in the world to see this movie. Special thanks for sponsors and trying shows. Stick around for Q&A after the show. Guys, ready or not? Where's the day? I can even better the second time.
Let's finish the movie,
Let's give it up for our special guests again. They are Radio Silence. Here again is Matt, Tyler, and Shad, and filmmakers behind this movie. And she took more shit than any Harlem heroine in history. Let's give it up for Samara Weaving.
Hi, thank you.
Hello.
So is that music to your ears?
Yeah,
That's
that
all
was
right.
fun, guys. Thank you for such a fun screening.
Yeah, this is the first time we've seen it with people, so that was
Giddy
unbelievable.
up.
So as co-directors, how do you divide up the work? You know, one guy does the shooting scenes, one does the hackings, the slashings, and the eviscerations. How do you divide up the work?
We're just all around to keep each other sane, honestly. We start working together. I mean, we've worked together for 12 years now, but with every project we start working very early together, the three of us, so that when we show up on set, it's kind of a hive
You
mind.
were more of
Yeah,
the technical
sort of.
side,
Yeah,
right?
we split duties on sets. You know, I have the more sort of technical blocking
Yeah.
side of things. Matt deals with.
If Tyler spoke, we're like, oh, we're in trouble.
But yeah, it's a team from the start, and I think that I hope that's evident in the way that we work. Like, everyone gets together, and has a good time, and yeah, we make a movie.
Yeah.
Samara, you were in Mayhem, which played Fantasia. You were in Ash vs. Evil Dead.
Yeah.
You're like the go-to gore girl now.
A gold girl.
Yeah. How did you survive this movie? You went through more shit than any other horror heroine in recent history. Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Friday the 13th, Halloween. Wow. How did you do it?
Training. Yeah.
You have one Popeye arm from the ladder
yeah,
climb
yeah.
scene.
Got like multiple limbs.
Well, was this as grueling to make for you as it was for us to watch?
No, we were just trying not to laugh the whole time. Ask these guys.
I mean, you went through the gauntlet with us. It was like, I mean, every day. You shot 25 of the 26 days.
Yeah.
And it was lots of like, oh my God, are you okay? And you were like, shut the fuck up, I'm fine. But it was treacherous. We were watching being like, oh my God, how is she doing this? Is she cool for another one? And you were such a trooper. I mean, oh my God.
Chad, did you bring this project into the fold?
No. Our other producers are here tonight. Trip Vincent, Jamie Vanderbilt, Tara Farney, they all did it. And they know Guy, they know Ryan, the writers, who did an incredible job with it. And we developed the script for a couple of years, and we got it to where we all loved it. And Fox Searchlight, who's also here tonight, and thank you guys so much for believing in the movie. We appreciate it. And for getting it made. Without you guys, it would have been something completely different. And we're very happy with where it's at now.
You guys have done horror before. You did VHS segment in that, Southbound, Devil's Due. What was it about this project that you decided, all right, this is going to be my big horror feature. This is going to be my horror summer release.
Tone. For us, it was the tone. Just like a mix of the humor and the fun and the nonstop action of it. It was just, the minute we read the first draft of the script that got sent to us, we were like in love with it. Can we please do it?
Yeah, I think,
And
we're fans of like every kind of genre movie, but there's a lot of stuff out there that's just straight up hardcore. You feel completely fried after you watch it because it's just such an intense experience. And there was something about this that it's just fun.
Yeah.
And it's the kind of movie that we want to go and see in a theater. And so it was, I mean, honestly, it's fucking crazy that we got to do it. I think we're still pinching ourselves. It feels like the absolute bullseye for what we've always wanted to do.
Yeah. What exactly you doing this endurance test of a motion picture?
These guys. All of these guys. Yeah. We sat down for a meeting and they were so, I was like, we're going to have a fun time doing things. They were really respectful of my ideas, even if some of them were really dumb. And I loved that Grace was really strong. She wasn't like running the wrong way up the stairs. Like she was making logical decisions on her feet. And I think in the script when they talked about Grace coming from foster care, I was like, oh, she's scrappy. Yeah, she can handle this family. Yeah.
I think if I can just speak to that, like you brought so much of that to this, and I think what that forced us to do was make the obstacles that you face even bigger and crazier.
Right.
And I mean, that's obviously the family is incompetent, right? But it's the stacking of one thing after the other on top of another that becomes the big challenge, minus Stevens, who is just somehow this butler who's proficient with piano and he makes a good cup of tea and he's got a dart gun and all of that stuff. But that was a really fun, that guided how we built all of these crazy sequences because you were so tough and such badass.
It's so hard to get the balance between horror and comedy on these movies. You know, there's a lot of failures and very few successes. How was it juggling those two genres, making it funny and scary, but not too funny or not too scary to keep the audience?
A lot of that was in the edit. I mean, a lot of it was like, we did it all on set, and then anything that stepped outside of our guidelines, you know, our guardrails, we were like, it's really funny, but we can't use it, you know, or it gets too fucking dark and we can't go there. Like, it was really picking our tone and then kind of following it the whole way through.
And it helped that the actors, that the roles, the way they were written and what the cast brought to it, that everybody believes so wholeheartedly in what they're doing. No one's ever out there to make a joke. Like they're all acting as honestly as possible. They're just in this insane scenario. And so that's the clash of that is where we think the comedy ultimately lives. We're walking into this insane night with somebody who we relate to, and she's married into this family that we can't even, they're all just fucking bonkers. And
at what point did you realize, hey, Aunt Helene is stealing this picture?
Pretty early.
Dailies. we got reports from Searchlight that they were watching the dailies and they were just like, more Aunt Helene. We want to fast forward to the Aunt Helene part.
Yeah, it was always fun when she was on camera. We were like, oh, fuck, I love it. I hope it works. You know, it was one of those things where you're like, we loved it, so we just stuck with it.
The estate is amazing too in this film. All the places to hide, all the shadows, and was that an actual location or were those sets that you built?
We shot down in Toronto. We shot at Casa Loma, and out in Oshawa at Parkwood, like Billy Madison. And then the YWCA in Oshawa. And we just built them together, and Andrew Stern, our production designer, really worked to make it feel like it was all in one place.
Amazing. So were there any sets also built to put those old locations?
No.
The goat pit was the closest thing to a build that we did. And that was actually
Like a half a
the goat
Oh.
pit that she falls into, which was oddly built up in the attic of the location where we shot the stables.
Yeah.
So it's very strange. That downstairs location is actually upstairs, guys. Moving that.
Samara, what was the hardest scene for you to shoot?
It's probably the scene, the scene in the car. It's like a dream sequence, and I'm looking at Alex. We couldn't stop laughing for half an hour. It was 4 a.m. and it was funny for the first 20 minutes. I think the crew found it funny, and then after that they were like, "Can you just shut the fuck up?" We couldn't keep it together. He was like this close to my face, and his mask started like falling. And I had to be really like, what's going on? He's just like there trying to like, his face is slipping off, and I see pieces of tape, and I'm like trying to be terrified, but couldn't.
Yeah, that was a perfect storm of like 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Weird make-believe.
Something you realize like how much
Yeah,
space.
Friday night,
Snow.
snowed that
Yeah.
night. Last night of the week, that was it.
That was great.
Henry and Andy, as the parents, are really cast against type in this film. Did they enjoy getting down and dirty in
I
a
hit her
more
in the
picture?
head the first day.
Excuse me?
I hit her in the head by accident. The first day I met her, we were doing rehearsals, and we were doing the scene where I'm bashing her head in, and I clocked her right in the temple. And I thought I was going to get fired.
And we hadn't won Andy over yet. I mean, she was great and was like very down for the cause. But you know, someone like her who we've all just idolized and we love her work so much, she shows up to be in your movie and you just want it to all go well. And I remember there was this sort of like, no one moved. It was like the scene where they pull the curtains open in the movie where everyone was just like, oh shit, what happens
I
next?
know.
And Andy was totally
She was-
awesome.
Yeah, she was wonderful.
Yeah, do it again!
Hey, how about some questions from our audience? Okay, upstairs. Yep, right there. Go ahead.
So what's in store in the aftermath for Grace? Prison, asylum, or massive inheritance?
Did everybody hear the question? Okay, good.
What do you think, Sam?
All of it.
I mean, we love that it's open. You know, that she obviously is the surviving member of the Ladomas family.
Yeah. Who would
essentially.
believe it?
Yeah.
Oh, the tables have turned.
We also love the off-camera story that somewhere in the world, like the entire Ladomas clan, wherever they live, that they just are exploding very, very, very randomly, all in the same instant.
Cool. Question over here.
Yes, just to know if there's going to be a part 2, are you planning to get married again?
Yeah, why not? That wasn't that bad. Or at least nothing to was.
And balcony, do you have someone from the balcony? Yeah, go ahead on the right side of you.
What happened to Daniel's ex-wife? They mentioned she had an ex-wife, or he had an ex-wife.
Yeah, just Jody. She blew up.
Yeah, I don't think
No ex-wife. Yeah, Daniel just married Charity. Maybe they were in love.
Did not work out.
Sometime way in the past, but yeah, the years have not been kind to them.
Yeah, question right here in the front.
Was there any discussion that at the end the family did not explode with just like there was no devil's deal? Was there a discussion about a different ending?
We talked about it for sure. We had an ending for a long time where she died, and that just felt way too dark. That was the original ending, and then once we decided to go this way, we had conversations about all of that, for us, this felt like what we wanted to see. This was the most satisfying for us. So.
But there were, I don't know, how many versions did the writers write? I think there was
8 or 9.
8 or 9.
Yeah.
There was a meteor that hits the house. There was
like
a
a
house
Final
explodes.
Destination version.
I mean, it was, we just felt like by the end of the movie, you wanted us to swing for the fences. So ultimately, like, the people exploding it was fastest, the most surprising, but it was also just kind of, it's the most logical next step given what we've just seen. Yeah.
A lot of the effects are practical in the film, which was refreshing, except, of course, the exploding bodies. Could you talk about who did your effects and shooting some of those scenes?
The effects team that we used in Toronto was incredible. Steven and Joe did an amazing job, and that's actually practical, a lot of that. Obviously, we didn't put dynamite inside of our cast members, but they built this amazing rig. They were just trash bags filled with blood, banana, and clothing, and pieces of material that were, attached to detonators, and we'd block off the set and put plastic wrap up to keep it off the rest of the room so that we could shoot everything for continuity. But in post, they just merged all of those elements with the cast reacting. But we shot everybody with the blood gun, and it's
and it was like day 3.
Yeah.
We got to know each other very, very quick.
Right out the gate.
Cool. All right, some more questions from you guys. Yeah, in the balcony, go ahead.
Can you talk a bit about the score by Brian Tyler?
Yeah, score by Brian Tyler.
For hours about the score by Brian Tyler. He is a close friend of Tripp and Jamie's, who it's a miracle. I think there's a lot of things on this movie that just sort of miraculously came together, and he was such a huge part of the puzzle. And obviously a lot of that has to do because the tone of the movie is weird. When we were trying to find temp music and we were in the edit, it was really hard to find music from other films that felt like it was serving the identity of our film. And I mean, we had, I don't know how many weeks you have in the edit, and then Brian came on board, and he'd been writing our music, but he orchestrated all of it in like a matter of a week and a half. And because of our schedule, we didn't really hear the whole thing until we were in Toronto mixing it on the stage, and our minds were just incredibly blown. He's a next level artist.
Great. Okay, we have time for a couple more. Yeah, again, in the balcony, right side.
You had mentioned earlier that the family was obviously incompetent. I was wondering if you can talk about how much of that came in post after the script, or was that already in the original script? Because at the beginning, you get a sense that they're very serious and that they know what they're doing. But then as the movie goes on, you obviously realize this is something completely new for them as well, and they don't know what they're doing. How much of that came from the script, and how much of it is by the actors kind of?
That was built into the script in a big way, and that was one of the things that we loved about it, is that it kind of turns that like strong killer who knows what they're doing on its head. And for us, it was fun, especially to work with the actors on that, to be like, how do you show that confidence and then actually not have any of it, and watching them kind of devolve over the course of the movie. Like when Henry or Tony at the end is like still holding on to power and control, and everybody else, you're all watching it like, this guy fucking has lost. And it was fun working with those guys to get there in a way that still felt grounded. And that's kind of what held it all together, for us at least.
I also would say that there's so many movies out now. I mean, we all watch them in theaters of superheroes and people fighting just so, everyone's an expert. They're so good at fighting, and these sequences are so beautifully choreographed. And we loved that this movie was like a bar fight from beginning to end. It's just sloppy and scrappy and real, ultimately.
Great. Okay, some more questions. Okay, yeah, over here in the front. Go ahead.
Samara, first I want to congratulate for the amazing job you guys have done. My question will be for Samara. A strong, powerful, and empowered woman. I love the role. Congratulations.
Thanks.
When you were first given the script, why were you attracted? What attracted you the most when you were given the script for this movie?
Yeah. I mean, first of all, it's so well written, which is hard to come by with those genre pieces. It's really hard to tread between horror and comedy and drama and when to feel for the characters and when to laugh at them. It was on the page straight away. And then meeting these guys, they really painted the picture for me, and I loved that. One, I hadn't played a protagonist in this kind of genre before, so it was fun to be the one running for her life rather than just trying to stalk other people. And yeah, I love that she didn't rely on anyone. She was really independent, and she was funny too. Yeah. I hope that answered your question. Thank you.
We have time for one more question. Upstairs, yeah. Go ahead.
So this is a question for Samara. I just want to know, what did you have more fun doing, in The Babysitter being the villain, or in this movie being the heroine?
It was really fun. The Babysitter was fun because it was my first feature film being a lead, and this was fun because I wasn't nervous about doing it. Like The Babysitter, I was like, I've got to get everything right. And this was really fun, and being a part of the ensemble and with these cool cats, it was hard work, but it was so worth it. We had a lot of fun.
So what's next for everyone? And we'll start with Chad. What's next? If you're ready.
I'm looking for a job if anybody's hiring.
Yeah, same.
I mean, I'm gonna drink some beer. That's maybe the most immediate job.
I'll join you.
All right, let's hear it for Ready or Not.